Hello, how's it going, guys? My name is Amandra333, and today I'm gonna be making a review about War Machine, the latest movie by Netflix. It's a criticism on the war in Afghanistan and Iraq. I'm gonna go ahead and analyze it more than review the movie itself. As a movie, I think it's all over the place, but as a criticism, I think it's amazing. Now, the plot is simple. We have this general, which is Brad Pitt. He brings his whole crew along to Afghanistan. He's stationed there. He's sent there to replace a previous general who got fired for not doing the job. And he's convinced that he's gonna be able to win this war. So how is it that they perceive themselves, the general and his crew? They think they're just amazing. They think there's a couple commentaries throughout the movie from the team that they think they're just the best army in the world. They're very cocky. They're very cocky. Brad Pitt, on the other hand, he's a good guy. He has good intentions. He's constantly saying that he's there to win the war. He's there to help rebuild the country. He has all these good intentions. So they see themselves as the good guys, right? They think they're doing something good. They think they're helping these people. They think that these people need them. And he even goes on to say that we are the only ones who can help you, which in my opinion is super cocky, but whatevs. Okay, so we had these guys, right? This new leadership that see themselves as just freaking amazing, and everyone tells Brad Pitt throughout the movie, you cannot win this war. This war is basically unwinnable. You cannot win this war. But he's firmly convinced that he's gonna be able to do it because he's convinced that it's a personal matter. It has to do with his discipline and his conviction, and he has all of that, right? So he thinks he's gonna win it. Now, how do his fellow Americans see him? This is interesting because he talks to a bunch of diplomats, including by then Secretary of State Clinton. He talks to President Obama, and basically no one supports him. He wants more troops. No one wants to give him more troops. The own politicians from the United States that are stationed in Afghanistan don't believe in him. They tell him that this is an impossible war. They don't want to cooperate with him. And as well, what we get to see from the regular American side of what they think that they're so separated from this war that we see it as this faraway thing. So there's definitely not much support from the country to this general, even though we are expecting him to do the job, right? Oh, this is amazing. There's this magnificent scene of this lady. He's giving an explanation of what is counterterrorism and whatnot, counterinsurgency, to all these allies, including Germany. And this representative from Germany starts questioning him, and it's an amazing movie. It's an amazing scene because she starts questioning him on his motivations, and she starts telling him that she feels that he's there for his own personal glory, that he trained through all his life for a war like this. But what he wants is his personal glory, to have the glory of being able to say, I won this war. I won what nobody else could won. And she even go so far as to questions, why are we there in the first place? She tells him, you've been talking all this time and you mentioned Al Qaeda once. And he's basically speechless. So I think that was on point. That was amazing. It's a very good scene, and from there his confidence starts going down. You get to see him, what we can assume is depressed, and from being this very confident guy goes on to this very reserved guy. He has an amazing wife. She's so good to him. She's so supportive. She's so nice. Okay, so how does the Afghani sees this general and this occupation? So towards the end of the movie, we see that from some commentaries of the locals that they think they're being invaded, and they don't want the army there. They think they're gonna get in more trouble with the terrorists or the insurgents if the army is there. So they just want them out. They don't believe that they're there to help. They don't believe that they're there to help them rebuild their country. And finally, we see the soldiers, especially in one of the soldiers, we see this meltdown when one of the soldiers kills by accident a kid. And I mean, it's a hard scene. And you actually get to see the soldier question the war, and you get to see the soldier frustrated. You get to see him starting to break down mentally. And there's an amazing scenes of the tiredness and the frustration and the questioning from all the soldiers. I love this movie. I love the subject of the movie. I love that we are now able to criticize the war. I love that now that the fuss is gone, no one gets called a traitor for questioning the war and the reason that we went to war, and why are we there in the first place, and why we went to war in the first place with these very poor countries that don't even speak English, and they are on the other side of the earth. So this movie is an amazing criticism to that. The whole movie gets narrated through the eyes of these Rolling Stones guys who's there to interview the soldiers and the general, and he makes some very good points. And his intention, which is ultimately what gets the general fired for leaking all this information and making it seem like he was criticizing the vice president and the president for not supporting him. But he says that his intention was to make regular Americans question war and question, why are we going to war? Why are we a war nation that constantly needs to be in war? And how we basically glorify war, but at the end is this horrible thing that benefits no one. And he's a little bit disappointed because he didn't cause that. He caused that general to get fired, and he didn't mean to criticize him in person. He meant to criticize war as a whole. So this is a fantastic movie in that sense. I never agree with the reasons why we went to war with these countries. I never agree why we keep going to war, why we are so cocky. I think there's a banner glory, and we glorify war in the United States, and I think we have created a lot more enemies and more problems than the ones we have solved through war. And this movie is perfect to criticize that, and I love it. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Like always, like and subscribe.